Hi there, I'm going to talk today about the Gerber mini Paraframe Tanto. So, something I bought with my own money because I was looking for something to review pretty much. So what I've done is I've taken it in my pocket for the last week, used it, well, just a little bit on EDC type tasks, and I've got some thoughts and conclusions, but first we'll just go over the basics. It is a very small knife, so it's got a 2.13 I think inch blade, 3-inch handle, so it's 5 inches from end to end pretty much. It's all stainless steel design. The steel on the blade is the 3CR13 MOV, so it's a Chinese made Gerber. You'll be able to tell by that Chinese type steel. It's sort of the equivalent to 440A or 420J, so one of your quite stainless types of steel, but probably won't hold its edge for too long. It's got a pocket clip there, and it is a liner lock, or a frame lock really, because it's the frame is the liners as well, so it isn't much more to it than that. A very simple sort of design. You can see that frame locking gauge just there, going very far into the knife, so it is quite a highly sprung line lock. You can see there they've not really gouged out as much as they often do on a frame lock. There we go. So it's opened by nail nick, so it's a very common knife in Australian knife shops because it doesn't have thumb studs. We get a bit funny about thumb studs. You see plenty of knives with thumb studs around, but then it sort of seems like perhaps maybe Gerber's got some deal with, I have no idea, but because the only knives with thumb studs you see are those Gerber folding scout knives. I see them everywhere. They've got thumb studs, but then you try and order something online and customs will stop it from coming into the country because it's got thumb studs. All that bothers me about these sorts of things is when it's not consistent, so it doesn't seem consistent there, but I'm digressing. So because it's nail nick open, very easy to find. You'll pay about 20 Australian for it, and in America you pay 8 to 12 bucks on Amazon. A couple of things to note. So you see the blade is very visible in the handle there. You can run your thumb from there to there and you won't be able to catch it though. So unlike the larger version, it's probably not as unsafe. You're probably less likely to be able to, you can sort of, yeah, no, you can't even get your finger, I can't even really get my finger underneath that blade in there. So it's probably not as unsafe as the general Paraframe, which there's probably a fair bit of criticism, which also is fair criticism that you could sort of open it or get something, when you reach into your pocket, get a finger caught in one of these frame holes and nick yourself. So it's probably not an issue there. I probably still wouldn't be putting a lanyard through there because you will probably end up shredding it to bits. So it will just be a pocket knife sitting in your coin pocket. The things I like about the knife, it does seem very strong in construction, like it's sort of a well-built knife, as in it's not going to fall apart on you. I would almost go as far as to say it's probably a tad overbuilt for what it is and for what you'll be using it for. The tip is good. It's very, very fine tip. I've found it really good for when you've got some crap under your nails. You can really work this little tip in and under like that. It's quite good. And just the second point of the Tanto, I find if you hold the blade like this and sort of push it into your packaging like that, you can sort of just get a very delicate amount in, so just for sticky tape and things, without worrying about going too far in. So it makes a very sort of skimming knife, which is good. Problems with it? There are a few. There is the line lock, as I said, goes too far across. It is sort of an overbuilt or oversprung liner lock, frame lock, line lock. I know I'm saying the wrong one, but you know what I'm talking about. And as a result, there isn't really a great deal of, because it's such a small knife, and because it's just a strong liner, there isn't a great deal of real estate to catch it when you try and put your thumb across. So when you do, you end up sort of like really, you push your thumb across and you'll end up with like a little bit of a that on your thumb. So there's that. And there's also, I've had a couple of instances where it's got stuck shut on something, and I'm not sure if it's something around the back there. I'll have to take it apart and have a look. Maybe the Teflon washers have a bit of a hiccup in them. There's our Teflon washers, as you can tell, which is fair for the price point. But yeah, I've had a couple of instances where I've gone to open it and yeah, it's just decided it's staying shut. So that was a bit strange. The pocket clip's a bit highly sprung as well. So I think they've just kind of gone, not wanting it to be a weak fall apart knife, I think they've gone the other way and probably made the tolerances too severe. and so you've kind of got it a little bit difficult to use, which is kind of defeating the purpose of the knife. So for a sort of $20-ish knife that you want perhaps to sit in a coin pocket, I would recommend probably the best pick would be pay another $5 to $10 and get a Cold Steel Mini Tough Light, which is made of superior steel, far superior steel, Oz AA. Has a little bit less blade, but very practical for the size and purpose of the knife. More comfortable, safer to use, a stronger lock, one hand opening, really does kind of blow it out the water, so you really shouldn't, there isn't really much, you know, unless you're a collector like me and you want that Tanto tip specifically, there's really not much sense in getting this when this exists on the market for just a little tiny bit more. But if you want something from Gerber, if you're a Gerber fan, I'm a bit of a Gerber fan, I must admit. Sometimes they make crappy stuff, like this is a bit crappy, but that's fine. But then you get this is the Ultralight LST, which is really, really good. And it's about the same size. It's probably about a third of the weight. This weighs 0.5 or 0.6 ounces. This is 1.7 ounces. So weighs considerably less. You get about as much blade. You get a really fine point on this one too. And you get a better steel. So this is your 420 HC made in America by Gerber. So between the two knives, they cost the same, and you want to support Gerber, get a Ultralight LST for sure, which you can see a separate review of there. But of all three knives, if you want something that's just a pocket utility knife, your Mini Tough Light is the one to get. Okay? And that's about all I have to say about that. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye friends.